You did this to yourself.
How would you bring up your dong ever? Don't ever bring your dick up. It only leads to making fun of your dick. That is like a human rule.
Welcome back, everyone, to S1E1, a show where each week we pick a different sitcom, watch just the first televised episode, forgetting anything we might know about the future run of that show, rate and decide if it's a show we want to greenlight or cancel. This week we're going to be talking about The Fall and Rise of Reggie Dinkins. Reggie Dinkins only has one episode out so far, which was called Pilot, originally airing January 18th, 2026. So to get things started, I'm Jay Gags. With me, as always, the boys, Joe, Ferg, Nick, and Cordo. What's going on, guys?
Hey-o.
Books are brain movies. That bird's looking at me funny. Okay, guys, hear me out. This is insane. So they released this pilot on the 18th.
Yes.
Yes.
This is a show about a football player. This is on NBC. The actual show comes out in what, March?
No, it'll so as of when this show comes out, when our episode comes out, it'll probably be another couple weeks. So I believe February 23rd, if you're listening, like when this episode first drops or is newish, should be coming out February 23rd, 2026. And our episode will be out right before that.
The Super Bowl is on the 8th on NBC. Why wouldn't they wait to do the pilot of this show directly after the biggest football game of the year on their same network that they're streaming it on?
Because after the Super Bowl, no one's going to sit down and watch a sitcom.
That's not true, because The Office did that hour-long episode after the Super Bowl that year, and it got like bonkers ratings. That was the one where like,
this
why
isn't The Office.
I agree. I'm just saying people are watching. People are less likely to.
I was
going to
say somebody has spent the money on that spot already. It's like that.
Yeah, that's true.
That could be true. So to not get too into the weeds with that, but yeah, just to go over this real quick. So I always say at the top of the episode not to forgetting anything we might know about the future run of the show. Well, there is no future run of the show yet. So we had kind of a unique opportunity here where this show was supposed to come out.
Have we ever done that before? I feel like we have.
We've done shows like when the first episode drops, like that 90s show and Tires we did. Like as soon as they came out, we tried to rush an episode out as soon as possible. But this is kind of a weird, unique opportunity. We're even though episode 1's out, we're kind of releasing before the series really starts. So they put out episode 1 now just to get like a feeler for it during the playoffs. But then really, if nothing changes as of the time of this recording, it's not going to be until like a month from as we're recording right now when the show actually comes back out, and they're going to air the first and second episodes together that day.
Hey, well, NBC, if you're listening, why don't you do that for us more often?
Yeah, they're listening. They're definitely listening.
Greg NBC is listening, the CEO.
Hey, Dick Ebersol, are you on right now?
Is he still involved?
I thought he was dead.
I was gonna say that he's not dead, but that was like his whole heyday of NBC was like 1982, right? Like that's been a while. I will say this though, I know it's silly, and this is not me knocking on football. You guys like it, I don't. It's not like about that at all. I'm just saying I love when football ends. I love the Super Bowl because you get like just restaurants back on Sunday. Because like there's a number of places you're like, oh, we should get food. It's a Sunday, and you walk in, and it's a bunch of people like, ah! Like 40 TVs on with football, and people yelling. It's just like, oh fuck, I forgot. You like can't go to restaurants on Sunday for like 6 months of the year.
What restaurants do you go? Do you only go to bars to eat?
No, but most restaurants have like 50 TVs now, and people go to restaurants to eat. And if TVs are on Sunday, they're playing football no matter what.
Oh, sorry, babe, we can't go to Buffalo Wild Wings again.
I can't go to Buffalo Wild Wings. How dare you?
He goes to Bangor Wild Wings.
We can't go to Jimmy's House of Gluten, man.
As of right now, the show is expected to have 10 episodes, I guess if all goes accordingly. But yeah, it's tough to say. I can't say this isn't like dropping it all on a streamer, so you never know. This
show is so NBC too. Like you know what
Tina
Fey,
I think, is part of the production behind it, and
it has a wicked 30 Rock vibe. I mean, obviously because of
creators, writers, executive producers, cast. Yeah, this is a lot of 30 Rock.
It's just like without even, regardless of like dialogue and scenario, like it just feels like that. Weird to, you have to see.
No, if you told me that this was an episode of 30 Rock, like a spoof from the show, I would have believed you.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Tracy Morgan, obviously being the star of the show, and is this character, is Reggie Dinkins and Tracy Jordan a far departure from one another?
No.
One's just like an actor and one's a football player. Yeah, I mean, but it works because Tracy Morgan's hilarious.
Is he a genius character actor or is he a one-trick pony?
I think he's in between. I think he's a one-trick pony that's not... The one trick is really good.
Yeah, I'm going to say, at least I love that one trick.
Yeah.
I would say Jack Black is in a very similar situation, right? Where like he only plays the same character, but he plays it well, and everything he's in makes a ton of money. Like,
Apparently you've never seen Kong.
Yeah, I think like the distinction between those two, though, is like...
I have not.
They mostly don't try to do something else.
Well, I think if you know you're like where you're best fit too, but
It's like Adam Sandler. Like,
and again, this is because the show's so new. Like, I'm not going to go any like early ratings because they're too few. And, but to plug us, S1E1pod.com, that's you can find all the links to all our stuff. So go ahead and check that out. Follow us on our social medias. If you want to watch Reggie Dinkins, again, as of the time that this episode comes out for us, if you're watching it, if you're listening to us right away, only episode 1's out, but you can go on Hulu or Peacock for that. And then the series will be airing on NBC as it comes out. And, again, Peacock and Hulu will have those things after. And then who knows? Any episode we do and record an episode for a year or two from now could change because streamers buy rights and things move around constantly. So Google it.
You know what's neat? We're the early reaction this time.
yeah.
Maybe some other podcast will be like, according to the S1E1 podcast,
Yeah.
it was great.
The Dick Ebersol podcast. It's like, according to these S1E1 assholes.
So might as well dig right in. We talked a little bit off air. There's definitely a lot. This style, we mentioned it has that 30 Rock-ish vibe. And because of that, there's a lot of cuts and a lot of things going on. So probably a lot to get into. So to jump right in, we start off and we see like the lights being turned on in a football field. And it's presented like an ESPN type documentary.
It's like a 30 for 30 scenario.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you hear like the narration, and the narration is by Reggie Dinkins, again played by Tracy Morgan. Then we see the what I like too is the title screens to start it say like Reggie Dinkins presents an Arthur Tobin documentary. So like even the credits are coming through with like the character names. Like I like that they're using that right up front instead of like using the...
Yeah, they're living in that world, yeah.
You hear him talking about how, again, it's that 30 for 30 style about how football is never a game for him. And we get a very early joke where he's like, his neighborhood in Brooklyn was rough. And he goes, and it was way too close to JFK. And it's just a picture of like a bunch of kids like in Brooklyn with a plane flying low.
I laughed so fucking hard at this.
Because we can kind of relate to
Yeah,
that.
they're just like basically under landing gear. Yeah, like we grew up under the airport, yeah.
First joke, 5 seconds in, and it was just like a stupid goof. But yeah, it was good.
There's so many of them. So many of them in this show.
And this intro, like, again, following with that theme, we're seeing like the evolution of his career, right? So you see him get drafted to the Packers, and it's got the old footage of like the 97 draft, and he's got like the purple suit on with the mustache. And then then it goes to like this clip of like an ESPN type clip of them announcing that he was a 2-time MVP. And then there's a commercial that he did for McDonald's that it cuts to right after, and he's like, but the MVP I really want is the new McDonald's veal platter.
What's funny is I thought about that and I was like, Jay would love that. Jay would absolutely go after the McDonald's veal platter.
I would try it. I love veal, but I have my hesitations if the McDonald's veal platter would be good.
To be fair, hold on. To be fair.
To who? McDonald's?
I am. Because McDonald's around the world puts out a different menu, and
That's
it's
true.
a little higher quality. So if they actually kind of did that here, it might not be
Yeah, but I don't want to have
terrible.
to like fly to Portugal to try the McDonald's veal platter.
But I certainly don't want to eat the American version of whatever the McDonald's veal platter is either.
That's what I'm saying. I don't want to eat the American one.
Do you guys watch those videos? Like, that's one of those, like, it's not even like I'm upset. Like, I don't even eat at McDonald's more than like a couple times
Love
a year
McDonald's.
tops. But like if I see a video like we went to McDonald's in Taiwan, I'm like, ooh, I'm like, I love watching those videos.
Yeah.
I've seen those, yeah.
I do get them occasionally, and they're drinking beer all the time, and you're like, wait, what? What's happening over there?
When I'm in Poland next, I'll go.
Yeah, let me know what weird items they have.
He's gonna get the Mick Borscht.
It comes in a cup.
Mick Borscht.
Ferg, you go to Orlando 7 times a year.
Yeah.
Do you ever go to the like world's largest McDonald's?
I went once. It's pretty awesome. They have like the last animatronic of Mac the Knight in there. You know, that big moon face guy? And it,
Yeah.
like,
Oh, that dude's so creepy.
they also sell spaghetti and pizza.
I was gonna say I've been to Orlando a handful of times, but I've never been there. And they have so many weird items. I always see like they have the giant like the kiosk with like all these weird foods.
Mayor McCheese brings you your food out.
Is that like a world food one? Because I think there's one in Chicago.
It's the world's largest McDonald's, literally, and it has all types of stuff. So
I have to find it. I forget where it is. Have you seen the McDonald's that's in like a house? It's like an old Victorian style house.
Yeah.
And I think it is upstate New York, actually, like maybe like Saratoga area.
Yeah.
And it's literally just like you wouldn't be able to tell it's a McDonald's because it's just like this big, nice house, but you go in and it's a McDonald's. I really want to go and check that one
oh,
out.
is it the one in Richie Rich's house?
No, that one's also. I was so jealous.
Yeah.
That is the little kid. We've joked before, like there's like the fucking Janine Garofalo 90s joke where she's like, there's a Starbucks in my living room. The like little kid 90s version joke of that is like, there's a Richie Rich McDonald's in my fucking house.
Yeah.
Imagine being able to have a fillet of fish whenever you want.
Oh,
Why fillet of fish?
Yeah, why is that what you went to?
I know, of all the things.
The only thing I will say, I'll defend the filet of fish with this. Has a great theme song.
I will say that, Gordo, I've heard that song at your house so many times.
I still have the fish. He's still hanging
Give
up
me
on my
that
wall.
fish.
Give me that fish.
We had the singing filet of fish and the creepy pedophile Burger King all at the exact same time. We were living in a golden age.
Oh no,
of-
and the Quiznos. You remember the Quiznos?
The sponge monkeys.
It was just like an awful character of something.
So, we'll save the rest for our food podcast, but to get back into
I will say this though, I bet the funnest part of writing this whole show was the writers' room when they're all trying to figure out the funniest MVP. Like they're just like fucking throwing shit at the wall, and they landed on that one, and we're like, "Quit drilling, you struck oil." That's the fucking funniest.
What could you
thing
have
to think
done
about.
besides veal?
veggie.
Venison.
Ugh.
I almost said
veggie?
vagina immediately, and I stopped myself.
It could have been like just like the McVeggie patty, you know what I mean? Like some sort of a veggie burger.
Yeah.
Could have been like, I was being a vegetarian at the time. You know?
Venison? It can be like a
Venison,
hunter burger.
yeah.
I was
I
just gonna
said
say venison. Yeah.
I could taste the buckshot.
But yeah, so just to move forward because we could do this all night.
But regarding this part, though, were you guys as impressed as me as the with their anti-aging like makeup? Not makeup.
No,
No, see, I thought it was hilarious that they didn't try.
no.
I was like, look, it's 22-year-old, 50-year-old Tracy Morgan.
he was
no.
Tracy Morgan with the mustache. He just kind of like vaguely looked like Little Richard.
Oh, I'm thinking of later when it's him and the wife when they're at the thing. But they de-aged his face really well in that later scene and made him really skinny. I'm like, damn, he looks like he did on SNL when he started.
Now we get back to it and we see like the 2005 season was like his destiny. He said he was going to be a legend, and this is when he was going to be like he was going back home to play for the Jets, and that was his home team. And you see like all these
Jets
like
thing ever.
yeah,
Yeah.
and we see all the clips of now him going to court and all these negative newspaper headlines, and then you cut to Reggie like present day, who's like watching the cut of the documentary on like a tablet, and he's like, "No, I don't like this. That's a bummer." We see that he's talking to the director, Arthur Tobin, who's played by Daniel Radcliffe, who we just 2 weeks ago did a show with Daniel Radcliffe.
Honestly, though, like it's crazy that we've done this with something. He's probably not in a ton of sitcoms. These might be the
I think
only
we just
two.
did both of them.
Yeah, but man, I can't get enough of him. Like he's so entertaining to watch. Like he really is.
When he does his freak out later, when he's like stepping on it, like jumping on his phone, I was like, I really like this dude in this TV show. Yeah.
You're all going to be Potterheads.
When we did Miracle Workers a couple weeks back, that was one of those like eye openers for me. Because like I said then, and go back and listen to that episode if you haven't listened yet. But like, I wasn't a Harry Potter guy, and granted, he was a child, so like, I'm sure him now as an adult actor is different, anyways. But I was so impressed with him in that show, so it was really good to see him like part of this other project now.
I like it too because you would assume that someone like Daniel Radcliffe would gravitate more towards movies, right? Just because that's how he basically got his start. But I feel like he does TV. I think he enjoys it. Like, I think he gets like more of a, like payoff from doing TV like this.
But he's like a traditional actor, like actor like
well,
Broadway.
right, yeah.
But he is like theater stuff, yeah.
But he comes off more as someone who just does whatever he wants, and he's not pigeonholed. So if he wants to do like some art house movie, he'll do it. If he wants to do a stage play, he'll do it.
In the Weird Al movie,
He's so fucking good in the
So
Weird Al
like,
movie.
it just sounds like no matter what, like he just does things that are. He made so much money being Harry Potter that now he can just do what he wants.
He's also like perpetually young.
Yeah.
He's like, he kind of can't play like, I mean, maybe the right director could make him look like a, like a, I don't know how to explain it, but like he just looks 25 all the time. And I feel like that's probably tough as an actor.
Well, Brits don't split.
the worst was an actual Harry Potter at the end when they tried to age them up for the time jump, and it just looks like Harry Potter and like a mustache.
Well, he's like not super old. He's like only a few years younger than us. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think we talked about this in Miracle Workers too, but like having never seen a Harry Potter movie, I think it's easier for me to accept him. Because I'm like my brain doesn't like. I obviously.
Well, you should watch them because they're
They're
fantastic.
such good movies, man. They're just
I
so
saw the
fun.
first couple.
Like if
They
my
were good.
daughter wants to watch them in 5 years or whatever, I'll watch them with her. It feels very strange to me at 40 to be like, I'm gonna throw on the Harry Potter movies, watch some kids dance around.
They don't dance. It's not a musical.
They're on fucking broomsticks. They're dancing. They're doing shit, right? They're flying
There's
around.
literally
all the time.
no dancing in the movies.
Flying, dancing. I don't know.
The movie takes place in the town from Footloose. There's no dancing allowed.
we meet him at this point of the show, and he's like, well, in response to how Reggie doesn't like it, he's like, well, it's a work in progress, obviously, but you hired me to make a documentary about you. He's like, no, I hired you to do what I tell you to do. He's like, now I got to put on my producer hat. And they do this like funny thing where it immediately cuts him in the same spot, only now he has a hat on.
I got caught off guard so many times during this episode with just like laugh out loud, like silly shit. I love it.
I love it too. I will say though, it's a little whiplashy though. Like I will say this: watching it analytically is a huge pain in the dick. Watching it as a fan, very different. I think watching an episode of this would fly right by. Watching it where you're analytically taking notes, I just kept being like, stop making jokes for 2 fucking minutes. This is taking me so long
What are you,
to fucking
Family
write my
Guy?
notes.
I watched this episode twice before I actually did the notes for it. So I've now watched it 3 times because I watched it right after when it premiered, and then I watched it again because I was like, I bet I missed things because everything was happening so quick.
It's just the style. They get as much shit in as they can.
But if you watch it, without having to take notes your first run around, it's like for a show like this especially, it's easy to just kind of enjoy it, and then catch more as you're pausing and taking your notes and stuff.
Which, 99.999% of people watching it won't be doing that, so it's perfect.
Sure, exactly.
But man, was it painful to take notes for this because of that.
He's saying how this is a movie that's supposed to show people how great he is. And then he goes like, and what's up with the theme music? My fiance Brina should be doing that song. He calls her over. It's like, Brina! And then she just runs over, and he has like, a younger, stunningly beautiful girlfriend who runs out. Her name is Precious Way in real life. I got to assume that. I mean, I don't want to assume it. I think it's a stage name. But she's also like an actor, aspiring like a musician as well, like rapper and stuff like that. So she just comes out there. She's like, you got it, baby. And she just goes, Reggie Dinkins is the best. He's like, she knows.
Jay, spot on impressions so far.
Yeah, you've been doing the voices really well.
You've got Tracy Morgan down pretty well, and his girl.
Yeah. It's I'm looking for a life after this. You know what I mean? When we hang up everything, I'm taking this microphone to a sound record.
Then do Bobcat.
Yeah.
I can't. I know my limitations.
I will say, though, I do like how as she was singing this song, it went into the actual intro.
That was a very smart move, yeah.
And they used it I hope this is a recurring thing and not an episode 1 thing.
Yeah, the actual intro is just like one of those title screen intros, which again, for a show that's this
Lazy.
dense, good to have like something quick.
I don't think it's lazy.
I think for shows like this, it's just not needed.
I think it's fine for this pilot, but I want a theme song for the rest of the show.
This show, now I will say, like thinking of like 30 Rock used to have a more extended intro and stuff, like they could probably get away with it, but this works. It's a quick jingle. It definitely was Gordo, that girl singing, I'm assuming, but it sounded like her.
Yeah.
Yeah, if she's also a recording artist, why not use everything you have?
Right, you've got someone there who can sing, yeah.
It was just the name of the show. There was no additional words. She just harmonized the word of the show.
I think it fits for a show like this, though, where like every 2 seconds there's a joke, and everything lasts 2 seconds. Like you make the intro 2 seconds as well, right? Like you just keep the theme going.
And it's quick. It's good. Like it's just the name of the show, but she says it in a way that like you'll remember it. Much like the recent Dr. Pepper commercial. Dr. Pepper, baby, it's good and nice. Doo-doo-doo.
I have not heard that.
Yeah, I've not seen this. I thought this was maybe like you were making a reference to something. But
No, I figured Joe would have no idea. Gordo, I thought you might because it's the internet took over.
You lose meme credit, Gordo.
Yeah, so this girl made a TikTok video where she's like, hey, I have an idea for a Dr. Pepper jingle. And she just sang that line and it went super viral. And now Dr. Pepper paid her $2 million, by the way.
Wow.
And made like an updated, like an actual jingle out of that, where like someone else sang it and they added some music. This intro kind of reminds me of that jingle.
Let's try to come up with a jingle for another brand of something and get paid $2 million.
McDonald's veal platter, it's delicious and good.
No, it needs to be something real.
Tampax, it slides right in.
Omaha Steaks. Yes, they're steaks.
Nah, fuck
No.
Omaha Steak.
Omaha Steaks also, you get on their mailing list and you get shit from them all the time, and they address it to look like it's a real card, like you're getting like a holiday card from somebody. You're like, who wrote me from Omaha?
you. Yeah.
And you open it and you're like, fuck you. I don't care about your filet mignon burgers. You can suck my dick.
But
How
we'll
dare
give
you.
you free chicken wings if you sign up right now.
We're moving on to Butcher Block, guys. Butcher Block is our new target. They give you steaks at least.
Butcher Block.
We use
don't
Butcher Box
serve
in
cock.
this house, and
What happened? Everyone froze.
no, Gordo was just singing about Butcher Box sucking your cock, so we all stopped talking.
didn't. I
to
said-
let him live in that moment for a second.
I said,
He said.
it's not what I said. Butcher Block, they don't serve cock.
Oh, I said Butcher Box will suck your cock. Also, it's
They
Butcher
have
Box, not Butcher
chicken!
Block, right?
Chicken!
Butcher Block is the piece of wood.
Butcher Block, they also have cock.
Why do you do that little robot dance every time
With
you
the arms.
Now we cut back in and we're seeing the documentary being shot the way Reggie wants it, right? So now you see him and Arthur talking and he's like, oh, welcome to my world. Yes, I was an NFL superstar. But the most important job now is being a loving father. And he sees his son. He's like, oh, look, Carmelo. And like, it's all very, he's playing for the camera now.
Brooke, Linda, where is everybody?
Yeah. He's like, oh, look, I see you're improving your mind with study. And then he looks at the camera and goes, books of brain movies.
Just the way he
God,
delivered that was hilarious. It's only something Tracy Morgan could do too.
Right,
to
like
make
nobody
fun.
else could say that and have it be funny.
Even when he says normal things, like there's a part later, I'll point it out, but it made me crack up.
I imagine that's probably an issue with Tracy Morgan's real life. Like people probably just laugh at shit he says when he's not trying to be funny. Like he'll like be at the bank. He's like, "I'd like to deposit this check."
Right.
And they're like, just deposit.
Like at the locked case in the CVS being like, I need some razors. And people just start laughing. It's like, no, I really need to shave. What the fuck?
Hey, everybody, the living room's on fire.
What voice was that? Hey, everyone,
It was
let's all go
more
dancing.
John Travolta.
Yeah. Ah, jeez.
Yes. From the worst grease.
Then we see like a hanger that's mounted to the wall that's encased, and he's saying like, see that right there? Like that's where I'm gonna end up putting my gold jacket once I get in the Hall of Fame. And then you hear a voice like off shot and it like cuts over and the guy spins around in the chair. Wait, you're not in the Hall of Fame? And he remembers the script. He goes, stand. And he says stand as he stands up. He's like, after your slamming career? And that's his buddy Rusty. He's played by Bobby Moynihan.
Bobby Moynihan He is a fucking saint. He's one of the funniest human beings on this planet. And every time he's on a show, he makes it better. And when that show gets canceled, I feel so fucking bad.
Yeah, he hasn't had luck. Like, yeah.
Just like, he's so funny. Just spin off Bobby Moynihan's character.
He's had a couple shows that have kind of like fizzled out real quick.
You are the king of hyperbole, by the way. Anyone you like, he's one of the funniest people on the planet.
Look,
I love Bobby Moynihan, but to say he's like one of the funniest people on earth is not true.
I could watch every Drunk Uncle on repeat and just cry laughing every single day over and over again. Also, are we going to forget that he has a bag full of big black dildos? I mean, come on, guys. Yeah.
I like to smell like an axe.
Yeah. He won us over at like 16.
Why are the police outside?
They should be inside the police building.
If nobody here is familiar with Bobby Moynihan pre-SNL, go watch his Derek comedy stuff, which is him and Donald Glover, a bunch of them, and just watch all them, specifically Bro Rape. You will not be disappointed, or you'll be really offended. It'll be one of the two.
Yeah, keep an open mind. Also watch The Spelling Bee.
Yeah. I heard what you said.
So,
I mess up, my dad's gonna beat me.
My dad'll beat me.
I heard what you said.
Cool. All right.
And then Reggie's like, will you tell me about it, Rusty, my friend, regardless of race? And when he says that, Rusty does the like Wakanda forever. Like all the little stuff going on in the back. And then we cut to Arthur's like the director's talking head. And he's like, as I always tell my students at the University of Maryland, documentary filmmaking is about piercing the artifice that people want to show the world. And then Rusty walks in like the door while he's filming. He's like, dude, did you bring all these posters from your house? And it's like all the movies that like Arthur has done was like the backdrop. So
the movie titles of his pretentious documentaries are so fucking funny. It's like Ling Ling, not food.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say that one jumped out at me as Ling Ling, not food.
He wore shoes is one of them, which is so
that's like
funny.
that kind of like attention to detail stuff that we've talked about in other shows like this. And
That's what happens when funny people write funny shows, right? Like instead of just writers writing shows, this is funny people doing it, and you can tell.
This is also what happens when I'm sure they filmed this and watched it back and said,
No, they definitely didn't watch it back.
The print was wet when it went out to NBC.
It's kind of strange that like you could tell a lot of work went into this show for it to be a mid-season replacement.
yeah, I was that's the one thing that surprised me
That is weird.
is that it was like scheduled for a February release.
maybe it's just because of the people involved.
But also, like, that's a dead zone where you can win people over.
I guess like I don't know when would be a better time to bring it up, but he is also supposed to be doing that Neighborhood spinoff show too.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right.
So I don't know how that's going to work if both shows do well. So
Tracy Morgan.
So we just done the Neighborhood not that long ago, and he has a spinoff show that's coming from that. That's like supposed to happen soon too.
Are they both NBC?
I thought CBS did the Neighborhood, but I don't remember anymore. I could be wrong. Could be NBC.
Because that would be the big hiccup, right? Like, if you're doing the same two shows in the same network, then you can make that work. But opposing networks, I imagine.
But even then, that's still a lot at the same time. But that could be why this sounds like this weird mid-season. Anyways, to get into Rusty's story, because now we cut to his talking head. He gives like a little bit of a backdrop of like who he is and how they know each other. So they met in training camp in 2003, and he's talking about how they really had nothing in common. You know, Reggie was a star player. He was a backup kicker. He's like, my man, like he has a taco named after him at Hardee's. But they just hit it off. And now he lives with them in his like basement basically. And you get that quick cutaway shot too of Reggie must own like one of those it's like a soccer, like where you actually have to kick the ball, like arcade games. Like I've never seen the soccer one. I've seen like the punching bag.
Yeah, I never saw
Yeah.
a soccer one either.
It's like golf is the same thing, right? Like, you drive the ball into the screen.
You just like kick it and it just kind of like folds in. Like you ever see the punching bags ones where you like punch it as hard as you can and it folds up?
I've never seen them in the wild. I've seen them in reels and people using them. I'm like, where are those?
Yeah, I've never seen the soccer one.
Well, just like Hardee's, they probably just don't exist in the Northeast. I ate at one in Georgia once. I remember it being okay.
I wish we had a Hardee's.
I went to Hardee's like once ever.
Oh yeah, I've been to Hardee's.
Or it was Carl's Jr. I don't even remember which one it was, but they're the same restaurant.
Same company. It's so weird
Same.
that they're not. Yeah, why? It's an odd branding thing. Yeah.
That was our first Orlando trip, right?
No, I went to one.
Canada.
I was like driving through the desert in Nevada.
I've been to 100 Carl's Jr.'s.
Wasn't there 100? Wasn't there one in Canada when we went to Montreal?
I don't know. Thanks for bringing it up.
Gordo, you're thinking of A&W Burger.
Okay.
Now we cut back to Reggie and Arthur chatting, and he's saying, this is Arthur talking to Reggie. He's like, I'm really impressed that you've been able to hold on to your money after everything that's happened. He's like, yeah, well, that's all thanks to my business partner and agent. She takes care of all of that stuff. He's like, yeah, I understand you bought a Welsh soccer team before Ryan Reynolds and his friend. And I was like, why do you say
why his friend? Yeah.
Yeah, that was dropping some shade on Mac, huh?
Yeah, Rod McElhenney is like, yeah, is there beef going on or something? But he's like, yeah, she's a killer. He's like, I named my Barracuda Monica because of her. And that's when you cut to her like walking into the house. And Monica's played by Erica Alexander, who you would know is like Maxine from Living Single, was probably her biggest role, or at least how I know her.
Yeah.
I said that or The Cosby Show.
Yeah. As she's walking in, Carmela walks over and greets her. And he's like, hey, Mom. And that's how, okay. So not only is it his business manager, but they had a child together. And, we'll eventually find out more about their relationship.
They'll get back together by the end of the show if it goes more than 10 episodes.
I don't know. I like that I don't know.
This is the will they, won't they.
The end of this episode felt a little bit like a will they, won't they, for sure, yeah.
So, yeah, she walks in, she notices the camera, she's asking, like, how long has this been going on for? And apparently they're, like, 3 days in, and that's when we get a little backstory where it's like, so your ex-wife's still your agent? He's like, yeah. He's like, when I needed someone in my corner, like, I went to the one person who is with me from the start. And he tells a story about how, when he got a scholarship to first play football at, like, a Catholic school, she used all her money to buy him like a scooter so he can get to school. And we see all these old clips of them like growing up together, like couple photos, and then like a tabloid of them splitting up. And then to go back, the idea of like a will they, won't they, like I didn't pick up on that, but only because I think they like that dynamic with Brina. So and she was really, like what little we got from Brina, I thought she was funny. So I don't think they'd want to they'd have to figure out a way if that happened, like she'd still have to be involved somehow. And they seem to get along. So it doesn't seem like there's conflict there.
To that, I will say, though, it is a pilot, right? And we have seen 300 times that they retool things after the pilot pretty often. So you could see a change there. She
walks into the room where Reggie and Arthur are talking. And she's like, hey, I don't want to interrupt this, but can I talk to you alone for a second? And he's like, oh, I don't think so. He's like, Arthur's style, he's very immersive. Like he even sleeping. And we get the quick cut of him, like the night vision shot of him sleeping, going, talking in your sleep is for babies. If I ever talked in my sleep, I'd be so embarrassed.
Now, was he faking that? Or was that just the joke that he said?
No, he was really asleep.
Because I took that as the oh, babe caught me sleeping meme when people are taking pictures of themselves.
I don't think his character's meant to be that smart where he'd be like, I don't know. Although it is that part of the documentary where he's in control now, so who knows?
It's also a weird thing that was like a thing, like people taking pictures of sleeping. Like, it's so fucking weird to me.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be, unless it was for like a sleep study, I guess, which I probably need to do.
Lord knows we have plenty of pictures of you sleeping.
Probably.
Yeah, I was going to say, Jay, actually, to be fair, yeah.
Oh, so you all watch me while I sleep, yeah?
No. We watch you while you sleep in real time because you fall asleep at functions and events.
And recording podcasts.
Not as much these days.
Yeah, and while we're doing podcasts while you're being recorded, yeah.
I wake up at 3 a.m. You understand? For those listening, we record late at night. So by the time we're recording, I'm up for a large portion of the day.
Take a nap.
I don't always have time, but that's not a story I knew.
I didn't realize we recorded this podcast for 40 years because you've done that our whole life.
It's true.
As of late, it's rare you see me sleeping when we're all out. It does not really happen like it used to. I don't work the same hours, whatever. Again, we have plenty to talk about here. So they go in sidebar, and Monica takes Reggie out to like a different area and goes, Reggie, when you asked me, I said, don't make a documentary. I also said, don't buy that football made out of the original Miss Piggy. and it pans over and you just see like a football that's pink, like felt. And I was like, ah. As a Muppet guy, like, even though it just looked like like, luckily they didn't have like an eye in it or anything weird like that. It was just a pink football. But I think that would have broke my heart. I don't think I would have been.
It broke my heart just with the showing of it, yeah. Oh, Kermit, please don't put me to a football, no!
Just seeing the pink football made me go, oh no. If there was anything more to it, I think I couldn't watch.
That belongs in like the Smithsonian, not his house.
Could have had a bowl of like Kermit tennis balls next to it.
What's his nephew? Who's the little tadpole nephew of his too? They're little ones.
Oh, stupid Robin.
Robin.
So she's going on about how this is a bad idea. And he's like, well, do you remember when Carmelo was little and you said going on a family cruise was a bad idea because you were afraid we'd get neurovirus? Like, and we all did get neurovirus? He's like, yeah, but we also got to see the Northern Lights. And she went, that was magical as hell.
I definitely understand that. That was like, we went to vacation on San Francisco and I got super sick and it was like, that sucked. We got really sick. I got really, really sick and it was like really hard for me. It's like, well, we saw the Full House though. And I was like, we did see the Full House. It was like, that like made it all better.
I've thought about this like recently, there's been a couple times like I got like a bad fucking ankle foot thing going on like right now. And it's flared up on me in the past. And I've gone on trips and stuff where like something like that will happen, right? Like my ankle hurt or I was sick, but in the moment, it's not like the trip isn't as fun as you want it to be, but your brain has a really weird way of filtering that out when you look back on stuff. So you like forget like, oh, I was like in a lot of pain walking around. You just kind of remember the fun parts. It's kind of weird how you do that like through time. You just kind of self-filter.
It's always weird too if you do that, but like some of the things you did are kind of fucked up. Right? It's like the same trip. It was like we went to Alcatraz. You're like, that's kind of a fucked up place to go. It's like a fun tourist destination. We're like,
oh, I'd love to go there.
It's awesome. It's the fucking coolest place ever. But like, it's kind of a dark, heavy place to be like. That was really fun.
Ferg, where did we go on our last trip?
Oh, what was it? What was it called?
It was like
the one in Philadelphia.
Yeah, it was the prison.
Oh, the garbage picking, field goal kicking Philadelphia Penitentiary.
It was Tony Danza's house.
It was Eastern State Penitentiary.
Yeah, where Al Capone was. That's where he was, right?
Yeah.
And it's weird. Like you go into, you're like, oh, here's where the cell was. And then they tell you all this horrible stuff that happened in there. And you're like, ooh, and you're looking in.
The guards raped him 12 times in this cell, and you're like, go take a picture. It's me going, oh, I get choked in the cell, yeah.
I'd love to go back there in October because they turned the whole thing into like a haunted house. Like, I think that'll be awesome.
I feel like going there as a tourist is like weird bad juju, but going there as a tourist when it's like, I'm the crazy inmate. It's like gonna make a ghost attached to you, and it's not worth that risk.
Well, it's like supposedly haunted anyway. It's the main reason I wanted to go. We didn't see any ghosts, but we did see cool history. So everyone should go to Eastern State Penitentiary.
Yeah, go check it out if you're in the Philly area.
Is that the oldest one that was in use in the United States?
I said we saw a lot of history. I didn't say I retained it.
Yeah.
Okay. That was the one used for the Civil War, right?
I don't think
Doubt
so.
it.
Okay. Never mind. All right.
Monica starts talking to Reggie about like, it's not just about all that other stuff. Like they're talking about how he wants to, get back into, being involved in football, like get in the Hall of Fame, do color commentary. And he's saying like, I also want to be respected again. I want Carmelo to have a father he can look up to. She's like, well, if you want respect, this documentary is not the way to get it. All that's going to happen is you're going to end up showing your whole ass to the world. He goes, you're welcome, world. I got a dunk.
Favorite line in the whole show. I lost it at this one.
I thought that was so funny.
It's also funny too.
Got a dunk.
It's like a very modern expression too. Like show your ass is like become like it's not a modern expression, but it's like become much more popular. Like I feel like I hear people say that all the time now. Like he's showing his ass right now.
I don't.
What are you talking about?
I feel like showing your ass was not something I ever heard when we were younger, but now I hear all the time. Like people saying like,
I
he's
do
showing
not
his
hear
ass.
it all the time.
I don't hear that at all.
Weird. That's like look, people will listen to this and back me up. That's like a thing people say all the time now.
Where do you hear that? You don't leave your house.
When Joe goes to the fetish club, they're like, hey, Joe, show your ass.
When I get attached to the human spit, I'm like, oh, showing my ass again. Spin me.
Well, they're lucky because you got a dunk.
Thank you.
There's another quick cutaway here right after where it's like, also this whole thing's a huge waste of money and we're not making any. What was the last endorsement I was able to get you? And then you cut to just like commercial, like in Japan of him. He's holding flowers, wearing like a tuxedo, and there's just children dressed as flowers around him.
What is this for?
What is this an ad for? That was my favorite part of the whole episode.
Me too. This is when the show truly won me over.
When you think logistically, like that had to get set up and run through, like he actually had to stand there. He actually had to get hit. And it was a literal second of time.
Oh, yeah.
on
The
this
little
show.
kids dressed as flowers had baseball bats. Yeah.
The kids are what makes it. Yeah, the little kids like makes that so much fucking funnier. That's also a weird. Speaking of Super Bowl, right? That's a weird rabbit hole. If you just go down like Japanese commercials of like famous celebrities,
like the Arnold Schwarzenegger ones
Yeah.
and the Nick Cage ones.
yeah, you're like, what is happening?
I don't know if it still exists. It was called
Japander?
Japander. Yeah. And it had all the old, I mean, now YouTube exists, so you could probably find them all there anyways. But pre-YouTube days, like that was like where you could find all the Japanese commercials. I'm sure it's still there, but
That's when the internet was the Wild West.
yeah.
It's just crazy to think we lived in a time where like you could just go there and do all those, and you'd think nobody would ever see it anywhere but Japan. So you could do or say whatever you wanted, take the paycheck. Yeah, like it's crazy that like now we're way past that.
Now they start reflecting about how like they thought they'd be in a different place at this time, right? And we get another cut to a press conference of them back in the day where she's sitting with them, and it's like how she just negotiated the biggest contract in NFL history for him. She goes, and one day I'm going to be on the other side of that table and I'm going to run this team. And he goes, and we'll still be married.
By the way, this is what I was talking about when I said they look young. This specific scene. Go back and watch it.
You have to re-see this one scene, yeah. But in that earlier scene, the montage scene, it's not well done. For humor, right? It's like obviously not well done.
I was like impressed.
See, my thing was like when you brought it up, I'm thinking about in the intro, I thought the complete opposite of like, wow, they made no effort to make him look younger here.
I will say this though, Max from Living Single looks like she has not aged very much at all.
She looks great. Yeah.
Yeah, she looks incredibly. I mean, she's got to be in her 50s now, right? Living Single was mid 90s, right? Yeah.
Yeah, she's 56.
I was going to say, she's probably getting closer to 60 at this point, yeah.
I mean, that was the 90s kind of world, and they were glad they had their girls.
Like she was also super skinny, like really skinny back in the day on those sitcoms. So she like put some like weight on and it looks better, I think.
Yeah.
Are you saying she too has a donk?
I was gonna say it. And I was
She
like,
does.
I don't want my voice on that saying
Yeah.
that.
We cut back again, and she's saying, I actually have a plan. That's why I came to talk to you. I have an interview tomorrow at IDK. Like the agency, it's like, yeah, this could be a great move for us. They're a sports management department, and they rep Steph and Saquon and LeBron. He's like, I need full names. You know how many LeBrons I know?
To be fair, though, I didn't look up the statistic. I wanted to look it up, but like, I'm sure there have been so many kids named LeBron
Oh, easily.
in the past 20 years,
So
right?
So I figured even you would know LeBron, but do you know Steph and Saquon?
No, I know LeBron James. Steph Curry?
Steph Curry.
Yeah.
Yep.
There you go.
Okay, I know the name. What's the other one?
Come on, Saquon.
No idea.
You got this.
Got it.
No, he doesn't.
No. And Steph Curry, I don't know what he plays. I know the name.
He just won a Super Bowl last year.
Do you think Joe know who won the Super Bowl last year?
Yeah.
I haven't watched a Super Bowl in like 25 years. I have no
Saquon
idea.
Barkley. Yeah, he's
And to all fairness, Saquon had nothing to do with that Super Bowl win last year.
his career was almost destroyed by being drafted by the terrible New York Giants, and then luckily he got away from there and immediately won a Super Bowl.
Okay, they got Scatterboo now.
Yeah.
What's the name? Is there a man named Scatterboo?
Yep.
Cam Scatterbo.
Scatterbo. Okay, well that makes more sense. Scatterboo sounded like an alien name. It's like, how did the R made it weird?
Close your eyes and think of like a meathead college bro. He's that man.
Oh, so I don't like him.
No, you would hate him. you would hate him.
Well, he likes wrestling, so you'd be friends.
Yeah, but I hate modern wrestling too.
So anyway, she's talking about how, maybe by working at this agency, that's going to get everybody back on track because she's going to have more leverage and, she could maybe get him into other things.
Real quick, sorry to interrupt again. Is that a real company that because they're all real people?
No, I doubt that they're all, I don't know. I don't think it is. I didn't look it up, but I doubt they're all part of the same sportsman.
I think
don't-
IDK is probably
on
a joke too.
Yeah,
because
I
it's-
don't know.
I don't know, yeah. Because there's like a few big sports agencies, right? And they're all three letters. ICB, I think, is one of them, or ICM, one of those, yeah.
And she's talking about like, I don't know about this whole documentary thing. Like, I don't really trust this Arthur guy. And like, as they're talking about it, you can see like he starts spying on them from outside, and they like catch it and turn around and look to him out the window, and he just like jumps to the floor real quick. Like that.
His face when he gets caught in the window is so funny.
And then she's like, "You got to be kidding me!" And he goes, "Good talk. We both agreed nothing's going to change, and my Miss Piggy football is a great investment."
I do like the callback to it.
Yeah.
It is nuts though. Like, none of us are ever going to be famous enough to have a documentary crew following us around, but like,
well, it depends who you end up murdering.
I was gonna say, but like the thing from our generation for sure is fucking Robert Durst being like, I murdered them all. The burping. Like, never allow yourself to be filmed because you will just always be caught in situations you don't want to be caught on.
Now we cut to Reggie and Arthur talking in a different room a little bit later. And, I found it. The sword I was talking about. Reggie's like, Tom Cruise used this in a movie where he played the samurai. And he's like, we should use this in the movie. And then you get like a Rusty talking head where he's like, Reggie has this amazing idea for the ending. I get taken and Reggie rescues me with a famous sword. This comes back into play later.
This is a great scene because the end of this episode is fucking phenomenal.
And then we get back to them and it's, Reggie, you know what the word documentary means, right? Like, well, I assume it comes from the Latin word documentium, which means lesson or instruction. And then you get to Reggie's talking. He's like, I took Latin in college because I thought it would help me meet Dominican chicks. But then I liked it. So many languages come from it.
This is what I was talking about earlier when I said he says something normal like so many languages come from it, which is a true statement. And I cracked up and I'm like, that's not even a joke.
Well, it's like he says it in the way of like the wonderment of discovery because like, he's excited by learning that.
But also that he thinks Latin America and Latin are the same things. Like, it's like another level of that joke that's so funny. He wanted to meet Dominican girls, so he learned fucking Latin, a language nobody speaks anymore.
It's funny, too, because he seemed to actually have learned Latin.
He retained it somehow. He doesn't retain anything else.
I hope that's a recurring thing in this show.
That would be funny, actually, yeah.
And Arthur's talking about how, these things that you're doing are basically ruining the documentary, like all this scripted stuff. And then Carmela walks up and he's like, I'm sorry, he wrote things for me to say. Dad, you're such a good dancer. Can you teach me how to dougie? Like, it's Dougie, we practiced this. Is doing the Dougie already a dance that's so old that the youth probably don't know it?
Yeah.
1,000%, yeah.
Well, I feel old. And then we cut to Arthur and Reggie like back in the living room a little later. He's like trying to do a sit down with them. He's like, so we have to talk about what happened in the 2005 AFC Championship game. He's like, I mixed up some phone numbers. It could have happened to anybody. And we get the black screen that says January 23rd, 2005. And it starts where we hear like the phone interview. It cuts and we see it's like, it's not ESPN, but it's like an ESPN-like type show. And Reggie's doing a phone interview with them. And they're going, Reggie Dinkins, you straight own Indy today. How does it feel to be Super Bowl bound? He goes, better for me than you because you owe me $250K, 100 for the win, 100 for going over 200 yards, and 50 for scoring more than one touchdown. I scored 4. It's like, wait, you gambled on the game? He's like, very funny. You know I bet on every game. You're my bookie. And then you hear Rusty in the back going, hey, I put 1,000 in quarters. We're going to Dave & Buster's.
My fucking hero. He's just so stoked to go play so much skee ball.
$1,000 in quarters, though, is so... I should have looked this up. How many quarters is that?
It's 4,000, right?
Oh, yeah.
Nick, I'm not trying to knock on you, but that seems like an easy equation.
Yeah, no, it was. That's how my mind processes numbers, though. Like, legitimately, I can't do it.
That clip ends with, you know it, brother. Now, where's that phone number for that live TV interview we're supposed to do? And then it cuts back, and then Arthur goes, you were immediately banned for life from football. He goes, yeah, but I only bet on myself and only bet to win. So that was more motivation to play good. He's like, so about how a waitress works for tips. Now, this deserves a conversation.
Yeah, this is going to be a weird conversation that we all are going to have, right? This is going to bring up the Pete Rose, everything, yeah.
I say you let Gordo go first here.
Okay.
Pete Rose is, I think, is the example we need to talk about on this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pete Rose famously banned from baseball for life for betting on sports. There was no proof that he ever bet on any of his own games, but he was betting.
As a player and a manager.
Yes.
So only as a manager.
Yeah, I thought it was only as a manager.
Only as a manager that they know of. He probably was, if we're being real. But
Yeah.
Yeah, if we're being honest, he just wasn't caught as a player, probably.
no proof
right?
that he ever threw a game or did anything to his own like stat lines for, betting purposes. They just knew that he was making bets on other games.
All right. And then he was banned for life because Major League Baseball already went through this in the early 1900s where they made this rule where you can't bet on baseball. It is a lifetime ban. Now, since he is dead, sure, put him in the Hall of Fame. He served his lifetime suspension.
So my issue was this guy then spent the rest of his life still being an advocate for the game, apologized a million times over, did everything he could. It was his, also arguably one of the best hitters in baseball history.
His hitting numbers were ridiculous.
Oh,
yeah.
a great player.
With over 4,000 hits. Untouchable numbers.
I'm not taking away from his numbers, but the rules are the rules if you're going to hold up the integrity of the game.
Yes, but it's the Hall of Fame, and you don't have the best hitter in baseball when that has nothing to do with his post-playing career.
He cheated.
He didn't cheat.
That's the thing. I don't consider that cheating because he broke a rule, but he didn't cheat.
Yeah, but does Kurt Schilling, is he cheated for putting shots in his leg, right? You have to just go so many different levels of who cheated.
But that's not cheating. I could see if he was betting on his own games and then lost on purpose because it was a sure thing. But you can't guarantee a win.
You also can't guarantee that he didn't do that, though.
But there's no proof of it. That's the thing. There's
But
no
there's proof the other way.
Sure.
Yeah, not that way.
You don't
yeah.
know one way or the other whether or not that's true or not, but to the character of the person, knowing that they shouldn't do that because of the ramifications of Shoeless Joe Jackson.
And he got a movie.
I was going to say, if Pete Rose shows up in one of our backyards and starts having a game of catch, I guess then we can officially put
He
him
gets
in the Hall of
tombstoned by
Fame.
Kane.
My thing with it is the Hall of Fame is not a morality thing because there are so many people in the Hall of Fame who were juiced out of their minds.
Oh, for sure.
They were cheating, and they are in the Hall of Fame.
Is Canseco in the Hall of Fame?
They wouldn't touch those people until recent days, though. So the juiced up guys weren't getting in.
I'll say this. If they want to make a hall, because it's going to come to a point where, Barry Bonds is going to have the same problem. Mark McGwire is going to have the
He already
same
does.
problem.
They've already extended past their time. They've passed their eligibility years. They have to get voted in outside now. Manny Ramirez just had his last year of
Is
eligibility.
Clemens in? Clemens can't be in, right?
They've all passed their years of eligibility.
If you want to make a wing of it or an exhibit.
No. You can't start doing that. It's the Hall of Fame.
Criminal
it is
wing.
or it isn't.
Why can't you? Why can't you? It does what you guys want, and it does what
And
I want.
I don't want to do this the whole episode, but I thought this was an important conversation. There's, for all the big stars that get caught who get in trouble, you have to understand that there's so many lower tier players that were doing the exact same things that just weren't as talented, so they didn't get caught. So if you're Barry Bonds and you're doing steroids, and this is a whole separate argument for Pete Rose, by the way, but the guy who threw the ball is also on steroids. Isn't that now an even playing field? It's just like when everyone was on amphetamines. But now, and then that got
right.
big.
And he was going to make his nose run so he gets some snot in the ball, right? There's a million things that people were doing.
Pine tar, yeah, all the stuff that they've done.
Pete Rose also kind of shot himself in the foot a few times just by opening
Sure.
his mouth.
But all that stuff, at least you could say they did something to affect the game. Pete Rose, which is Reggie's situation here to tie this all back in, there's no proof that Reggie in the show or Pete Rose in real life did anything to personally affect the scores of any of the games they played negatively.
No, Reggie bet on himself to win.
And in Pete Rose's case, broke my heart as he got older and older and knew he didn't have a lot of time left on this earth, where he begged and pleaded and apologized, and it was his dream to go into the Hall of Fame. And the second he died, they're like, all right, he's eligible. Why? So you could profit?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they're going to cut to a commercial in the middle of a baseball game. We go on FanDuel and bet our 4-game MLB parlay.
So that I think is kind of fucked up.
He should have just blamed it on its translator like Otani did.
Right, he got away with that very easily.
Yeah.
But for Pete Rose, though, I think doth protest too much, right? He wanted it so much that he became such a public advocate for it that I honestly think if he wasn't so vocal, they probably would have.
I agree.
Yeah.
Like, he just became
No, they
too
wouldn't.
much of an advocate for himself and was such a fucking loud boombox of it.
So I don't think it would have. I can't say it would have helped his chances on getting in. I can say opening his mouth hurt his chances. You know what I mean? Like, it definitely didn't help.
And going on wrestling and being like, I want to be in the Hall of Fame, and getting tombstoned, right? Like, he was putting negative light onto his career and then MLB as a whole, yeah.
And my thing is like Pete Rose kept Pete Rose out of the Hall of Fame. And it's just, it sucks. Like, yeah, I mean, but he really wanted it. Okay. I mean, sorry though. Like, I don't know what to tell you. You still broke a cardinal rule. Like,
For people who want the recognition like that, like, that's always going to be looked down upon, right? Like, you need the recognition.
You know what's a tragedy? Vader not getting into the WWE Hall of Fame.
oh, here we go. Yeah.
No, I'm with Gordo. I agree. He should have been let in when he was on his way out because he had an argument way better than Pete Rose's.
But that's a whole, that has nothing to do with this.
But I'm just saying.
With Pete Rose, though, the player should get in and the manager should be banned because he did that in his managerial career. It
It's
had
a
nothing
whole
to do with
separate
his
thing,
playing
yeah.
days.
You don't go into the Hall of Fame as both. It's a separate thing. You get inducted as a player or as a manager or depending on what it is. Yeah, if you did both, doesn't mean you get both automatic. But anyways, yeah. I don't want to do 10 hours of this because there's so much show to cover. But yeah, Pete Rose, R.I.P. You should have been in the Hall of Fame long ago.
The one last thing I'll say in this, though, is I think that baseball keeps changing the rules every year. And at that point, you have to stop not letting people in because you keep changing the fucking goalposts. The goalposts, rather.
I will also end this conversation by, I think Hall of Fames in general are kind of a joke.
Agreed.
They're popularity contests with no real meaning, and it doesn't matter. Like, you either did well in your profession or you didn't, and the Hall of Fame shouldn't really be the button or the cherry on that.
You just need a fucking ring for some reason, yeah.
Tom Brady's not in the Hall of Fame. If he never made it into the Hall of Fame,
If you were like always an asshole to like sports writers, they like legit hold you out of the Hall of Fame for a couple of years as punishment. You know what I mean? Like, so things like that, yeah, definitely put a damper on like the validity of some of that stuff.
So does Belichick never get in?
They'll probably wait a year, even though he should be a first year ballot. Like,
Actually, it's wrong. It's wrong sport anyway. It's not the writers, so it doesn't matter.
But anyways, yeah, to get back into this. So we find out Reggie was banned from football. And because of that, the team lost the Super Bowl 61-2, which would be the worst Super Bowl to watch in history unless you were a fan of the team that's winning.
For the record, that would never happen. They
It doesn't
would
make any
let him
sense,
play
yeah.
and then suspend him, and then he'd have the chance to go
Right.
through all the process. But they wouldn't instantly suspend him.
losing your star, what is he, running back?
Yeah.
Losing your star running back doesn't make your defense suck that hard.
Gets trampled.
I will say this from the outsider point of view. Jay, I disagree. I think if a team was so much better than the other team, they were winning 61-2, that would be a very interesting.
I guess if it gets to the point where like I think we're watching history. I guess at that point, like, you know.
Right, like you're there, you're like, this is never going to happen again.
We also found out he was dropped by Progresso Soup, and his episode of Ghost Whisperer never even aired. He goes, yeah, that really messed up Melinda's season arc.
I like how bummed out he was by that.
Also, like, when was the last time if you thought of Ghost Whisperer? Like, what a funny fucking poll that is for a show.
Also, there was a similar score in a Super Bowl in 1990. 49ers versus the Broncos. 49ers won 55-10.
Wow. Is that Joe
Wow.
Montana?
1990?
Or Steve Young.
I know some stuff.
90 was probably Montana still.
Yeah, it was.
So Reggie rounds out this conversation saying, you know, hey, this was supposed to be a puff piece. He's like, that I'm paying for. He's like, none of this is going in the documentary. Now I want you to film me dunking on a regulation 10-foot hoop. And it cuts to him dunking. And like quickly you see that he's on. First off, the hoop's maybe 4 feet up. And he's still like on like a
On a
little
ladder,
ladder,
yeah.
just so he can get on top of it.
He's like on the kind of ladder you buy if you like to have to paint a wall in your house.
Yeah.
It's got the 2 steps up and a little perch.
He's like, shoot me so you can't see the ground. We start getting like various talking heads now. So now Arthur's quizzing everybody else, Rusty, Carmelo, Monica, about like the gambling stuff. And, you know, Rusty's like, oh, we're not supposed to talk about the G word. And Carmelo's like, of course my dad was upset. You know, I don't like talking about it either. And Monica's like, oh, you want me to talk about the thing that happened to be the worst thing that ever happened to my family? And then you get back to Rusty's like, I don't even know if he meant gambling or grandma, because in my family, we don't talk about it much, but grandma shoplifts.
Good for him. He still has a grandma.
We get a quick cut here. I feel like this is something that I guess would be unveiled in future episodes if they want to go this way. But you have that quick shot of Arthur like at the private bar area in Reggie's house, and he like grabs a bottle and starts looking at the label, and he notices he's being recorded. He's like, hey, he's like, Marty, guys, I said don't film everything. He's like,
I don't know what they were trying to convey here.
Think they were going to insinuate that he has a drinking problem.
Yes, I think that's probably what they're doing. I don't like the way I
agree.
It was weirdly done, and I feel like it could have been done better.
I just felt like it was a little out of place. This was the one thing where, like, unless it unveils itself to mean more later, and then like he starts drinking again and he becomes like funny drunk for for episodes. But yeah, this was the only time it was touched on. It doesn't come up again. It was just this little bit of a Easter egg, and we've talked about this before when we've covered 30 Rock and other shows like. I think Tina Fey produces this and other things she's been involved in. Shows like this have very purposeful placement of everything. So I wouldn't think that this would be in here unless there was a reason for it later on. But we don't see it here. So I'd have to assume there's something intended in the story arc with him and drinking.
I just assumed he was stealing his alcohol and he got mad that he was going to get him caught.
I thought it looked more to me like he was staging a scene. Like I didn't even get that he was drinking the booze himself. It looked more to me
he
like
took something off the shelf and was like looking at the bottle, and he got really like caught off when he noticed they were recording him like holding the bottle of alcohol. So
right, I just feel like they weren't like clear enough that he was going to drink it. It's like you didn't know what he was doing. He's just behind a bar looking at.
That's
bottles.
how I perceive. I mean, I guess we'll find out when the episodes reveal themselves. And then Monica walks in and starts talking to Arthur, and she's like, I'm on you, Arthur. Yeah, I know why this bearded infant took this job. He's like, what? He's like, it turns out I can't even trust you to do what Reggie's paying you for. I saw one of your little movies at 4 times speed on my phone. How Gordo watches these episodes.
He doesn't watch them.
I did watch them.
She's like, you won a damn Oscar. So why would the director of A Rose for Joshua even be here? To make some artsy movie where Reggie looks like a tragic loser? Doesn't A Rose for Joshua, we talked about this earlier, sound like such a legit like Oscar-winning documentary?
It does.
Like it airs after Flowers for Algernon. Like it is such a it's a perfect writing for like a pretentious documentary.
And he's like, no, I just think there's like a real doc here. Maybe something about our national gambling addiction or how fame. And she cuts him off. She's like, so I was right. You're here to get what you need, but you, sir, are underestimating Reggie Dinkins. He's not going to let you hijack his movie. But he doesn't even want a movie. He wants a commercial. And I swore I was never going to do another commercial. And then we get this cut to a commercial he had made in the past. And it's just like a little person and like a giant dude. And the little one hands the big guy a can of soda. And he goes, you, me, same.
Was it Dr. Cola, I believe, too, was the name of the beverage?
That what it was.
Yeah.
And cuts back. And he's like, it doesn't even matter. I can't even make Reggie's movie if I wanted because I can't. She's like, what? I spoke to the NFL lawyers earlier, and there's a slight chance they're not going to let me use any game footage. And we cut and we see that conversation. He's outside, and he's like on the phone talking, and he's like begging, and you can see how frustrated he gets. And he like throws his phone on the floor, and he starts stomping on it, and then he picks it up and he throws it in a way that only Ferg would.
I don't know if I'm being insulted because I don't remember the throw.
It's not a great throw. I made a note of the throw. Yeah, like it was. I think him being not athletic. You know, when talking to an athletic person the whole time.
So we cut back. She's like, Monica starts to like storm off, saying like, "This is over," and he's chasing after her. And while he's doing that, Arthur turns over to Martin. Martin's the camera guy, by the way. They mention him a couple times. We never see him.
We don't see Martin yet. I think that's like the best thing though, because like you build yourself up to like a great reveal for that, right? Like that could be anybody.
You could be Martin.
And he tells him like, please stop shooting me. And you hear Martin's voice though, and he goes, right, but you said to follow you. And like as that's happening, we like round into a room where we see Reggie sitting on a couch. He goes, oh, did we film some stuff you wouldn't want people to see? How's your own medicine taste? He's like, very cute, Reggie. He's like, why would I use any of this footage? Like, because you work for me. And Monica's like, well, Arthur won't be working for you very long. He can't even get the NFL to use any old game footage. And Rusty's like, seriously? What's a sports documentary without sports?
I mean, touche.
Yeah. I mean, there's ways around it, right? Because like, you know, us being wrestling fans, like those Dark Side of the Ring documentaries, they usually have like almost no rights to use anything. And when they do, it has to be like intentionally looking grainy, or like they do stuff to like alter the footage.
Fair use through YouTube, yeah.
So like there's ways around it if you cut it right.
Yeah, I think it's a true crime thing too, right? Like most true crime documentaries don't have footage of the murder, right? Or like the trial. It's always like reenactments and the way you shoot it. So you can make these things really compelling, but
everyone's in the room now, they're arguing. And Monica's like, I told you not to make this stupid movie. It's a waste of money. He's like, yeah, my money, the money I paid for your BMW and your son's fart medication with. And you just see Carmelo in the back going, hey, can we not put that in?
I really like Carmelo, by the way. I think he's a great
Carmelo's very good in this,
actor,
yeah.
and he's really funny in this.
And then he tells her, my agent works for me, Monica. So if I say we're going to waste money, we're going to waste some money. And then Brina runs in and she's like, she doesn't even make eye contact with anyone. She looks straight to the camera and goes, Reggie's not your man anymore, Monica. And then you get her talking head, which is like, Monica's never been anything but lovely to me. I just really want to be in the documentary.
I do like that they give her like one more dimension here instead of
Yeah.
just what you see when she's singing and everything.
That's why, like, I question the idea of like the will they won't they, because I don't think they'd want to get rid of her character because she is funny, like she adds like another dimension to the cast. So, not to mention, quite a looker.
I mean, she could still be around as the angry, crazy ex.
That's true too. There could be like that spin. We cut back, and when Monica's talking to Reggie, she addresses him by his full name, which is Archibald Reginald Dinkins. And she says, I put my life on hold for you, but if you're not going to listen to my advice, there's no point in me even being here. I do have other options, you know. He's like, so go. I'm the only reason why people are interested in you anyways. Basically, this... we find out that other than him, she does handle a kid who plays Fortnite and Gina Davis, but only for archery.
Again, the weird specificity of that joke where like they must have bandied around so many actors' names and things they would do and landed on Gina Davis playing archery. It's so fucking funny.
Like, that's got to be like a name in one hat and a profession in
Right.
another.
Yeah.
Like,
See what pops
picking
up.
them. Yeah.
It's like in Blank Man when they throw like the darts on the wall for like a story and an actor, like, or a celebrity.
By the way, Gina Davis is very much in the archery community.
I did not know that. Okay.
I know that, yeah.
Oh,
The last thing I saw was she was like, you know, the turn of the year where it's like celebrities were turning whatever. I think she was turning 70. Am I wrong there? 60?
I mean, I know off the top of my head. She's up
I'm
there.
asking for because he's looking at her right now.
She's probably in her 60s, mid 60s, probably.
That weird thing of getting older where you're like, Gina Davis from those movies we watch all the time as kids.
She is 70.
70.
Yeah.
Okay, well, 70, yeah.
And from Wareham, Mass.
Oh,
I didn't know she was
that.
from Mass.
Where's the ham?
I just figured I was just thinking of other people in like a league of their own. And I was like, well, Tom Hanks and Madonna are probably about 70. Yeah. So now Reggie's saying, you know what? Go tell your agent people you don't represent Reggie Dinkins anymore. And let's see how long they want you around. Like, all right, I quit. And then Arthur's like, you know what? She's right. This is a waste of money and my time. I don't even care if my career is over. And he doesn't like want to say over. He's like, this could have been a really good film, but you had to ruin it. So you can mail all my posters back to the University of Maryland Center for Documentary, Anime, and Pornography. By the way, Joe makes the joke every week. I kind of want to make that shirt. Like a college looking shirt for the University of Maryland Center for Documentary, Anime,
I can
and
see that
Pornography.
the little logo on the side and then the text. Yeah.
He's like, good, I'll make this movie without you. Yeah, movie. And then you cut to Reggie in the yard and he's like wearing his old jersey and he's like doing all these slow motion moves. And Reggie's like, you don't have to do the slow-mo, man. Like, we could just do that on the computer. He's like, I'm going as fast as I can, Rusty.
That's such a funny fucking joke. That's the fastest you can move. Like, it took me a second when I was watching that. I was like, that's so fucking good.
Like back in the day when I would chase Max and I'd run slow on purpose to not catch him. And now if I try to chase him, I can't keep up with him.
Fast forward, yeah.
A, he's faster, and B, I'm slower.
If you're like an NFL running back, by the time you're like 33, you have the knees of a 60-year-old man. So like,
Yeah.
like running backs, like they get old quick, especially like the old timer ones who are like more workhorses. Like that's punishment on your body.
I always laugh though because it's like a weird, funny thing with wrestling. Where like there are we bring up wrestling all the time, but There are so many wrestlers who were like, well, his knees blew out playing football, so he moved to wrestling. And I'm
So I started wrestling. Yeah, I never understood that.
there's so much knee involved in wrestling.
Yeah.
It's like Kevin Von Erich is one of those guys where he's like, well, he was,
Stone Cold.
his knees blew out, so he did wrestling. It's like, that's crazy amount of knee work. Why would that be better somehow?
And then there's the opposite with Kevin Nash. He blew out his quads all the time, and then he was in the longest yard as a football player.
That's true.
Yeah, it won't reverse. We jump a little later on, and now we see Carmelo approaching his dad in the kitchen. He's like, hey, Dad, what if, I just play you in all the reenactments? I know all your old moves. And he, hits a pose. He's like, I call that the go away, you. He's like, we're going to figure this out without Arthur Tobin and she who shall not be named. Like, yeah, but, that fight with Mom, that was, Mom, I would never fight with my mother. She lives in Florida, and she's a saint. No, Mom. She didn't quit for real, right? Because, we do need her. And for what? Brina could do anything she could do. Bree, will you call my knee doctor and tell them that little hat bone is gone?
Funny, the she who shall not be named joke is a Harry Potter joke, and this has Harry Potter in it.
Oh, I wouldn't have caught that.
Yeah, I didn't know
That's
that.
what you call, that's what they won't say Voldemort.
Brina walks over. She's like, oh, okay, honey. What? Nothing. So now she has to do stuff for him, and she's not really, she wasn't there to be his planner, you know what I mean? She's not one of those ones who's gonna be able to take care of him.
That's why I think she might be out the door. She's like the money person. Just wants his cash.
She comes off as having a good heart. You know what I mean? That's so
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never feel like she's just money hungry.
That's her money train, though. If she's a bitch, she ain't gonna keep her around.
But also don't forget too that they were married. So if it's just about money, she's getting money from that divorce no matter what.
Well, Brina and him, I'm saying, but they're just dating, I think.
I thought she was his fiance.
Yeah, she's a fiance.
Oh, Brina.
they're
They're
married,
fiancés, yeah. But again, though, fiancé is literally just a word. Legally, that is just nothing. That's just, you're dating somebody and you say nothing.
You get no rights if you split up from being someone's fiance, yeah. Carmelo and Reggie is sitting there, and Reggie's like, what? Looking at his son. He's like, nothing. He's like, come on, you can be real with me. Like I always say, a son is just a homie you make.
This is too where I love his son so much, where he's like, yes, you do always say that. His delivery of that line is so fucking funny.
Berg, have you ever said that to your son?
No, but I'm gonna from now on.
Yeah. And he's like, you do say that. He's like, I really want this to work. And real talk, it hasn't always been easy for me either. Playing football with Dinkins on my back, I take more crap than anyone. And there's a kid on our team named Osama Epstein.
Another fucking great joke.
Joe, did you have to pause and breathe into a bag?
That was so much for me, yeah. I was like, oh, that's the character who's on the remake of Welcome Back, Kotter, for sure, right? It's now Osama Epstein. That's how you make that show work now.
And then you got Reggie, who's actually being somewhat level-headed-ish for the first time. He's like, you think I don't know that? I know how I hurt you all, your mother, even Rusty. But if I can't fix this, son, then what kind of man am I? I would be stomping off right now if my knee wasn't locked into this position. But, he's all iced up right now. He does have some bit of self-awareness that, he has been a negative influence. As much as he's, the money provider for everybody, he, has negatively impacted all of their lives.
I actually really liked this because as funny as the character is it's one-dimensional.
Yeah.
So, you do get so he's not totally completely out of touch with what's happening. He does get it. He just ignores it.
Nice to see him have a little depth.
Yeah, right.
From there, we cut to Monica's Zoom interview, and we're watching it basically the way if any of you guys listening watch our clips on our Instagram, S1E1 pod, you're basically just watching the Zoom screen, right? So you're just seeing Monica and the guy from the agency talking on the computer.
Who's played by Ronnie Chang, by the way.
Who was it?
Ronnie Chang. He's a stand-up comedian. He's really funny.
Oh, really? I'm not familiar with his work. I didn't know who he was.
You've probably seen him. You just didn't really recognize it. But yeah, he's definitely
because he comes off as a super douche in this show, but by design.
Yeah. He acts a lot too. He does both.
So he's like, Monica, bro, we're so amped. I don't have to use that word lightly to meet you, but I got to start asking about Reggie Dinkins. She's like, right, well, full disclosure, I recently ended my professional relationship with Reggie. He's like, oh, that's music to my ears. Now I don't even like music. Like, what's the point? I'm like, what? And she's like, well, I'm glad you're amped. He's like, no, I was amped before, but now I'm full on pumped. To be honest, you repping Reggie was kind of the only thing keeping us from getting pumped. That guy was dead weight. And she's like, he is the father of my child. like, so even through the fight, even though she's not repping him, she's still like trying to warn him, like, hey, like, he's still part of my life.
Yeah.
I like that. She ride or die.
He's like, no, I get it. And he's like, that's why dropping him is such a baller move. Now I guess he can go back to betting on football, right? And she's like, well, actually, like, Reggie's making some of his own moves. He's working on making a documentary with an Oscar-winning director. You may know Arthur Tobin. And he just like starts dying laughing. Oh my God, Tobin? That's hilarious. She's like, what's so funny about Arthur Tobin? And then we cut away and we see Reggie in his chair and Brina walks up to him. She's like, Reggie, I can't do this. You know, I was excited about the documentary, but if it's between the movie and Monica, you got to choose Monica. I called every doctor in your phone and they're all DJs. He goes, and Julius Erving. And she's like, it's not just about your knee. Monica's part of your life. She's a part of our life. You remember on vacation when we got lost in Tuscany, but Monica had that air tag on you, and that's how the police were able to find us? He's like, if it wasn't for her, we'd be trapped in that mausoleum still.
Give me that episode.
Broke into a mausoleum of some sort? Like,
Yeah.
what is the story there?
And she goes, I knew she was a part of the deal going in. She has to be. So, like, this is like part of it again, where she's like, you know, Reggie says in the beginning of the episode when he introduces Monica's character, like, it's complicated. You know what I mean? Like, they have a history. So, like, they just, you know, they have a good working relationship, but the romantic, you know, part of their lives ended. And she seems cool with Brina. Brina seems, you know, more than okay with Monica's existence. Although I guess we don't get enough of how Monica feels about Brina. I guess it's not touched on too much. There might be a little bit of like you upgraded to a younger woman, you know what I mean, or something like that might bother her, but she seems very confident, like her character.
But for the sake of my brain, I need it to come out later that Brina's a bitch. Like,
see, I'm okay with this being a more complicated relationship. I don't know. I like it just gives it a little more depth than
now that I've seen Monica be so ride or die, stick up for him in the meeting with the other dude and stuff, I'm like, they need to be together. They love each other.
Well, that's the thing. You just want them to be together, but Brina isn't like a dislikable character, and I don't think they're going to try to. We'll find. I am curious now how this will go, because I do think they're good. They're just going to show us just a different dynamic of a relationship that we don't see in television too much. But I guess time will tell.
We've done this so long. It's something set off my will they, won't they radar.
Yeah, of course. Well, they definitely have a history, and like they have a great connection. And, you know, just full disclosure, they have good, like, as actors, they have good chemistry with one another too.
Excellent chemistry, yeah.
Yeah.
After that, we go back to her Zoom interview. We have that guy telling her that the talent guys at the agency used to rep Tobin. And after he won the Oscar, they got him a full-on Marvel movie. It's like, he directed a superhero movie? It's like, no, he tried. He couldn't handle the pressure and had a huge breakdown and take the whole project, but it got swept under the rug because Disney didn't want to tarnish the IP. And he's like, the video is epic. He's like, I'll put it in the chat. I thought this was kind of weird. So they end up like, they show us the footage, right? And it's funny, but it's like Professor Squeeze. And like, you've already said Disney and Marvel. You couldn't get the approval to just like pretend to use a character in that universe. Like, why'd you have to make
somebody who's like ninth tier or whatever?
Yeah, like even if it was someone more popular, like you were allowed to say Disney, you were allowed to say, you know, Marvel. Like, so why can't you at that point say Doctor Doom?
I will say though, I get his thing here because like directing a movie like that with that many special effects when you're a documentary maker, right? Like that's gonna break your brain.
It's a whole different thing.
It's a very different thing. And that's not saying one is better than the other. I'm not trying to like get down a road of that, but I can totally see somebody who's like, I make these like earthy, gritty movies about real people and being like, you have to film 10,000 fucking tennis balls and they're going to be special effects things to add later. That's totally different.
We see the blue screen in the background and the guy's suspended. There's all these tennis balls everywhere and they're supposed to represent things. And then he's looking at like he thinks they're moons and then he's reading the script. He's like, wait, space babies? He's like, and some of them are supposed to actually be tennis balls?
That's the funniest part of that, is that some of the tennis balls are supposed to be tennis
The
balls.
scene's a tennis match now. He's like, this movie doesn't make any sense. And like he cuts them like he has a tennis racket. And he's just like swatting tennis balls until he eventually falls off the stage. And you just hear him yell, "I'm not an organ donor. Do not take my organs."
That killed me.
You know what? I'm with him.
Me
But
too.
I'm not an organ donor. I'm scared they'll try to take my organs, but I'm fine.
Me too.
I am one because I assume that nothing is good left in me right now. If they can help somebody, please take it. But I imagine
I'm an organ donor. I don't think they're gonna kill me for my parts. I don't even think my parts are desirable.
I don't know. I was always, and I know it's not real, I was always told that they won't respond to a car crash.
I think that is old wives' tale.
Yep, that's
that feels like something you would say about Facebook if you were somebody's mom and you were 10 years older. That's the weirdest thing to say. Yeah.
Guess who told me it was right around that age?
Bingo, bango, bongo.
I'm just saying, we're all in our 40s, say like we're in like a coma, but there's a chance we come out. There's a chance that they'll just take our organs for a little kid because they're the future and we're just old 40-year-olds.
But
like,
why?
We're done.
Does the paramedic have like a stake in the game? Do they have a little kid in
No,
the
but the
back seat who
doctors
needs
do.
a kidney? Like, it's not like they know where it's going.
This is my heart, damn it.
Do they get like a punch card for organs that they were able to like?
Have you seen Squid Game?
We're also not the healthiest people in the world ever, right? So I don't think we're super high on the list. You know what I mean?
I don't know. They might want to take my dong for research.
Why are there 3 urethras?
Why did all the hair go gray so young?
Put it in the super microscope.
You did this to yourself.
Yeah, why would you bring up your dong ever? Don't ever bring your dick up. It only leads to making fun of your dick. That is like a human rule.
So we cut back to the meeting, and he's just laughing up his throat. He's like, "This is perfect. Reggie Dinkins and Arthur Tobin, like those two deserve each other." And Monica's like, "Yeah, maybe they do." And he's like, "All right, let me play the video again." And then like while he goes to replay the video, Monica hears music like from outside the window, and she like gets up and walks over, and you can see outside the window Reggie standing there holding the boombox up like over his head, doing like the Say Anything.
Although, to be fair, I would rather hear the rejected Tracy Morgan rap album over fucking Peter Gabriel.
The thing is, who is that for? We all get it, but we're probably the last generation that are going to get that joke.
Yeah, but I think the show is targeted for roughly our audience. Like, that's probably the demo for a show like this anyways.
Like, John Cusack is home watching it being like, "Hey, that's me."
I'm still relevant.
The song is Run Fast by MC Cool Reggie. And you just hit run fast. That's what I do. I like to run fast, and you can run too. And she like runs outside. She's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "This is the rap album that you so wisely convinced me not to release." He's like, "Because you always look out for me. And if you stop doing that, I'll die. So I'm listening to you. No more movie. The cameras are only there because Marty and I don't know how to transition into a friendship that isn't based on work. I love you, Reg." But Marty, like, I like that excuse for it. By the way, that he's because that would be the argument. Like, well, then why is he recording this if he's getting rid of the documentary?
Yeah, it's smart writing.
I'm a little sad, though. I mean, like, you can use things. There's a lot of athletes put records out, right? And I think as we're talking about this episode too, right? Super Bowl Shuffle is probably like the most relevant, crazy thing to talk about as far as songs
40th
go.
anniversary this year.
It's fucking crazy. But now people can put a song out on like fucking TikTok or whatever. Right? Like back then, it was like you put a full album out, you put money. Macho Man's a great example, right? Like you put money and time and effort and marketing and all this stuff. Put an album out for it to tank. It's a huge deal. But now it's like,
Who said it tanked? That was a great album.
look, I love that album, but it fucking tanked. Yeah,
I mean, I own it on multiple formats, but
I have 2 different bootlegs on 2 different formats of that record, but it didn't make any money. But now you could like put a song like that on fucking TikTok, right? And if people like it, you're like, oh, okay, there's like,
so yeah, now modern day, there's a lot of like football players who have released albums and stuff. His is definitely more akin to like back in the day, like when Deion Sanders put out Must Be the Money. You know, that's what this is supposed to be like, you know, referencing. But yeah, sometimes musicians always want to be athletes. Athletes always want to be musicians. You know, it's always that type of stuff. He's saying, "Please, former baby, take me back, only professionally." Like, fine. I didn't take the job. And she says, remember that scooter I bought you back in the day? I always bet on Reggie Dinkins. Just like I did illegally.
I mean, she could have taken him back and still took the job. It wasn't choose one or the other.
Yeah, but he presented himself as such a dick, and like they don't like him, and she knows they don't like him, so she didn't feel like that was a good fit.
Money.
But is he a prospect where they could make a lot of money, right? Like, you have to think this documentary is going to have an audience.
Well, she's all in, right? So, and that's what she's saying. She's like, you know what? They think you're a lost cause. And the truth is, I'm out of ideas, but you actually have one, so let's take a shot. And then he goes, are you saying what I think you're saying? I can have a gun? She's like, I'm saying we need to go find Arthur Tobin.
That's also a great Tracy Morgan line. You say I can have a gun.
I'm genuinely surprised I like this show because I think the joke after joke after joke, there's never a second of seriousness. It's usually not my thing.
It's almost, well, I get it almost has like that like Family Guy, but like even the random jokes here are purposeful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not like, they all actually make sense, for the story at least.
They also progress the story a little bit.
I think I've brought it up before on the show, but has anybody here ever watched Hacks, the HBO show?
No.
So Hacks is super fucking funny, and it's kind of this exact premise, but done in a more serious way. So instead of an old sort of retired athlete, it's an old retired comic, and a new younger comic becomes like an intern and helps them to like sort of steer their career around and be like more modern. It's super funny, but it's like the complete opposite of the humor of this.
Yeah, it's got a more serious tone.
Yeah, more serious tone. So if you're saying that like you'd like the idea of this, but like a little more serious take on it, Hacks is a super funny show that's worth watching. But it's not sitcom enough for us to cover. It's like a little too much dramedy.
No, I do enjoy this. I'm saying I'm surprised that I do because it's normally not my cup of tea unless it's like Leslie Nielsen.
Right. This is somebody so off the fucking wall. Yeah.
We cut to them, and now it's like nighttime. It's outside. We see a bus like driving off that says Baltimore on it, and it's like just leaving. And he's like, oh, we missed him. And then they look over and they see that Arthur's actually still there, and he's like sitting on a bench with his head down.
This is my favorite line in the whole episode, by the way. I laughed so fucking hard at this.
Did you lie about being from Baltimore? What a weird lie. He's like, no, I just needed some time to think. They tell him how they know about Professor Squeeze, and you get another quick clip of like the movie where he's like just kind of like in his insanity at this point talking to the tennis balls. He's like, all right, congratulations, Monica. You're right again. I can't be trusted to do anything. I can't even sell out properly. And I haven't worked since, so they repossessed my car. So yeah, I had to take the bus here when I got my first job offer in 2 years. And Reggie's like, so you lied when you said that I was your childhood hero? Like, I never said that. You are not my childhood hero. I like that even in like this moment of desperation, he's like, no, get out of here.
He's like a young English kid where like typically American football does not translate well to...
That man loves David Beckham.
Who we talk about in a moment, where I had to look this up, and this is real, and that's
real.
Fucking bananas.
Yeah.
So Monica says, here's the thing, Arthur. I was wrong about you. I thought there was no way you could understand Reggie's life, but you may be the one person who can. And then Reggie goes, you messed up as bad as me. You, me, same. Like the way that like
The
an
callback's
trainer
so good.
talks like a monkey.
Well, he's calling back to the commercial from...
Yeah, he's calling back to the first commercial.
I completely missed that.
Yeah, that's why that's so funny.
I
is
thought
they
he was
actually
talking
call
about
back
he was talking
to
to a
his...
gorilla or something.
No, that's his commercial that he did with the tall person and the short person. Yeah.
That is a smart callback, and I did not pick up on that at all.
That's what the writing is so good that sometimes it's so good you don't even pick up on it. Yeah.
So this is when it's like, so you want me back? And Monica's like, yeah, but we actually have to do it your way. Reggie has to face what happened, like David Beckham's movie when he admitted to having all those dumb haircuts. And it's like those cornrows, he met Nelson Mandela with those. And you see the clip of him with cornrows when he met Nelson Mandela.
When I looked this up, I was like, I didn't even know what emotion to have. I was like, this guy was so fucking crazy. He had no idea how offensive this would be to meet a South African civil rights activist as the whitest human being with cornrows. It's fucking crazy.
Now, was that before Nelson Mandela died in prison?
Yes. Before his effect took all for all of us.
Before we came into this new universe?
Yeah, before the universe split. she's also saying, but for this to work, like, you also have to show people the good stuff about Reggie. Like, he messed up, but he deserves a second chance. You both do. He's like, use that in the documentary. He's like, yeah, maybe. At least that was real. And then that's when Reggie goes, oh, snap. That reminds me. And it cuts to him running into his house. And you just see like 3 masked men who are like torturing Rusty. He's like, guys, stop. And then it like clips like later. It's like, sorry, Mr. D, we're waiting for you to come save him with the famous sword.
Torturing him. It's so fucking funny.
And you just see Rusty in the chair goes, did I do good, Reggie? and it just ends with the shot of Arthur like doing the like cut.
Yeah.
Again, Bobby Moynihan, so fucking funny.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why he was drinking. He knew he was gonna get tortured.
That was I thought that was like the perfect way to end this episode. It was like a great callback.
Light note.
Yeah, it was funny. So
I think we didn't touch on it too much too, though. But I think like a fun thing of this too is that they were teammates, because they like do that whole thing where like that's where Reggie comes in.
Yeah.
I do like that their relationship is like they met and they were teammates, and now they're both sort of like on hard times and have like found solace in each other, which I think will give this show more fun in future episodes.
Relationships like that in football are common too, because like that he blocks for you, he protects you.
Yeah.
But yeah, with this episode being over, again, this is like the kind of show that I feel like there's so many of these, like they try to recreate these similar shows over and over again, and they just kind of fall into these like archetypes where they're like, okay, The Office was popular and 30 Rock was popular, and like they've done so many attempts to make shows with these tones that just come and go because they don't have like the right team behind it. And to me, and like, you know, not to get too far because we're going to, you know, greenlight or cancel in a minute, but like this seems like the first, based on just this episode, and I like that we can do this legitimately without the benefit of knowing anything about the show's future. This feels like it has the bones to be something. It seems like they got the right like writing staff behind it and the same, you know, the right cast of characters. So I'd be interested to see like how this continues forward. And I mentioned earlier, I'm interested if he has 2 shows and they both work out, how that's supposed to happen. But
Also, it seems like they're putting a little effort into getting this show's name out there. Like they put it after the game, which was a huge game.
so that was a big thing. Like, so obviously strategically they're trying to do something with it by moving the date of the first episode a month forward, and then they'll re-release it in a month. And this is always tricky, right? I don't know if this is because I've been Googling the show to like prep for the episode and stuff, but I'm getting like ads on my Instagram for it and stuff. So
no, I showed you guys earlier on Reddit. People are talking about it and stuff too.
yeah.
I think NBC did this exact same thing too with the car show, right? The one that was
Shifting Gears?
Shifting Gears.
No, not Shifting Gears. It's the Tim Allen one. The one that was about the car company. The main character I think is now maybe in that DMV show. That's also maybe NBC.
Oh, American Auto, which we covered a while ago.
Yeah, I think American Auto was the same thing where like they put the first episode out like a couple months earlier, and then we're like trying to build up steam for it, which I thought was a great show, but like ultimately didn't last too long. I think maybe 2 seasons.
Yeah, that one we covered a while back, and like I remember being like, this show's good. And then, I mean, honestly, I didn't watch any more of it, so I guess that says a lot. So, but yeah, not to get, you know, too far deep because we've talked about this quite a bit. Might as well get into the green light or cancel. There's really not much to say. The show, this episode's out, and the show doesn't even really start for, you know, even when when our episode comes out, we're recording, you know, a little in advance. It'll still be a couple weeks out. So to get into the green light or cancel, I'll just I'll go clockwise. Gordo, starting with you.
This is a very easy green light. I was entertained front to back. This does feel like 30 Rock. This feels like it could have legs to move on. Just all the callbacks, just the randomness. And the story's good too. And the actors are great. We touched on Tracy, you know, Daniel Radcliffe again. Tracy Morgan, like everybody was great. Like, I really can't find anything to criticize about it. Green light.
Nick.
Same, green light. It's easy. It really is a very well put together cast. They're all fantastic. Like Gordo said, the story, aside from it being funny, the story is just really good. And I'm very interested to see what happens with this character, this documentary, and just the dynamic between everybody. I do wonder though how this show, like we kind of like, we've seen this show a bunch of times, like the style of show, right? And like, we've made the 30 Rock reference a bunch, which I believe came out in like 2005 or 6, if I remember. So I'm just wondering if maybe this humor gets lost on a younger generation. And I'm curious to see how well this season does, I guess is my short way of saying it. I think it's going to be good. I just don't know how it plays today, I guess is the only way I can think to say it. But yeah, I mean, for right now, for a pilot, for what we do, very easy green light. And it was a lot of fun, and I can't wait to keep watching.
Berg.
Yeah, easy green light for me as well. I love Tracy Morgan. We didn't get into how much we all love Tracy Morgan. I thought it had a great cast, a good mixture of well-known people and relatively unknown people. Great chemistry with everyone. And there's something about his name, Reggie Dinkins. It makes me laugh every time. That wins me over, like Ron Burgundy. Like Nick, I do question where the longevity of this show is, because how long could they be making this documentary? It's like, does the documentary come out and like save his career? Where do you go from there? But we'll cross that bridge where we come to it, because this pilot is fantastic. Green light.
Joe.
Yeah, agreed. I think it's really funny. The chemistry is great. The cast is great. I love the mockumentary style, which is a very NBC thing, right? And we all talk about how many of those shows we rewatch. I mean, Parks and Rec, The Office must get rewatched a few times a year. Usually they're like in the background shows. I will say, to that end, 30 Rock is maybe not on that list for me as much, but everyone in this is great. This is super funny. They didn't do anything wrong. I think maybe, again, it's tough when you do a show like this analytically. Like, it makes you a little weird, but you're like, oh, God, you keep going. I think watching maybe the first 2 when they come out again in February in a row, like together, will make it a better watch, right? Because you don't have to think about that sort of stuff. You can watch 4 of them, just this 20-minute story unfold. I'm glad that we have these people doing these type of shows again. I think that's really necessary, because the past few that have come out kind of weren't as great. And I think this was really good. So it's a green light for me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with the rest of you guys. I'm green lighting it. This is a show, again, I talked about it a little bit before, but it just seems like they got all the right people involved. Smart, purposeful writing where things aren't done by accident. Everything kind of gets, it's comeuppance later. If something comes up, it's not for no reason. And you see so many shows now that just throw shit out there just to get a quick laugh, and there's no substance behind it. And this does the total opposite. Like nothing is done by accident on this show. I thought the cast was really funny. Yeah, I definitely have a concern with how long can you stretch this idea of his redemption, but we've kind of seen other shows where they kind of give you that premise and they just slowly fade away. My only concern is because of this one, we actually have the documentarian as part of it. So like with Modern Family, right, you could kind of be like, oh, this is a documentary about this, and it can run. But like, how long can Arthur's character be there and it makes sense if he's filming this documentary? You know what I mean? You can't get away from like the story with him there at all times. But I loved it. I thought it was hilarious. I'm excited to watch more of it as it comes out. And I like sports comedies in general. So I'm just excited to see more of this. So it's an easy green light for me. And with that being said, perfect. 5 out of 5.
Woo!
Congratulations to the fall and rise of Reggie Dinkins. Again, at the time of this recording, the rest of the season hasn't even come out yet. So to anyone who's listening to this, when only the 1 episode is available, I would recommend checking that out and watching the rest of it. I want to thank all of you guys for listening. Go to S1E1pod.com. That's where you can find all the links to all of our social media, anywhere you can listen to us. If you want to buy a t-shirt, hit us up. Let us know any shows you want us to do in the future. But yeah, that's it for this week. We thank you again for listening. Until next time, thank you. Goodbye.
I think we got the best Baltimore. I'm just saying that because we have Baltimore. I'm terrified of Baltimore.